The Galactic Council scout ship Zephyr dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of an unremarkable solar system. Captain Silvax chittered excitedly to his crew of arthropodians, their mandibles clicking in anticipation. Another primitive world to catalog, my fellow explorers. Exile, Vax announced. Sensors indicate a Class 3 civilization at best, probably still arguing over which sky deity is the correct one to worship. The crew laughed, a sound like marbles in a blender. They'd seen countless worlds like this, barely out of their stone age, ripe for future guidance from the Galactic Council. As they approached the third planet, a brilliant blue marble hanging in space, their sensors began to ping wildly. "Captain," the sensor operator called out, her antennae twitching in confusion. "I'm detecting artificial structures in orbit." Silvax scuttled over to the console, his compound eyes widening in disbelief. "Impossible. This system isn't due for spacefaring capability for at least another 1,000 rotations." Yet there it was, a massive, gleaming space station hanging above the planet, its solar arrays drinking in the star's energy. And it wasn't alone. Satellites, debris from old rockets, and what appeared to be primitive spacecraft dotted the orbital lanes. "Fascinating," Stidlevax murmured. "Perhaps they've advanced faster than our models predicted. No matter, they're still no match for." He was cut off by a burst of radio chatter, coming through clear as day on their communications array. "Unidentified vessel. This is International Space Station Alpha. You've entered restricted Earth orbital space. Please identify yourself, or we'll be forced to take defensive action." The crew of the Zephyr froze, mandibles agape. Not only had these primitives detected them despite their cloaking technology, but they were issuing threats. Before Exilvax could respond, a new voice chimed in, smooth, artificial, and dripping with sarcasm. Now, Commander Zhang. Let's not be hasty with our new guests. After all, it's not every day we get visitors from." There was a pause, and the AI's voice turned amused. "Approximately 2,753 light-years away. Fascinating propulsion system, by the way. Quasi-quantum entanglement drive. How quaint." Zilvax's exoskeleton nearly cracked from shock. These humans not only had AI, but one advanced enough to analyze their ship's systems in seconds. We? Exilvax stammered, all protocol forgotten. "We are peaceful explorers from the Galactic Council. We mean no harm." Galactic Council, the AI mused. Never heard of it. But then again, we're new to this whole galactic community thing. I don't suppose you'd like to trade some of that lovely faster-than-light tech for, say, our complete collection of cat videos. I hear they're all the rage in the Andromeda galaxy." Zilvax's mind reeled. This couldn't be happening. Primitives weren't supposed to have AIs that could crack jokes. Suddenly, alarms blared across the Zephyr. The weapons officer's voice was panicked. "Captain, multiple energy signatures detected. They're powering up weapons." On the view screen, sleek vessels emerged from behind the moon, their hulls gleaming with a material the sensors couldn't identify. At their center was a massive ship, dwarfing even the Zephyr. The AI's voice came through again, this time with a hint of steel beneath its jovial tone. "Now then, my arthropodian friends, shall we discuss the terms of first contact like civilized beings, or would you prefer a more energetic introduction to humanity?" In that moment, Helvax made the fastest decision of his career. "Retreat," he screeched. "Get us out of here." As the Zephyr fled at maximum speed, it left behind a trail of data, sensor logs, communication records, and most crucially, the coordinates of Earth. In their panic, they had just broadcasted the location of this impossible world to half the galaxy. Back on Earth, in a hidden bunker deep beneath the Pentagon, General Sarah Martinez watched the alien ships retreat with a mix of pride and concern. "Well," she said to the holographic avatar of humanity's AI defense system, AIR, I'd say first contact went about as well as we could have hoped. Aria's avatar, a shimmering, ever-shifting constellation of stars, twinkled with amusement. Indeed, General, though I fear we may have just kicked a cosmic hornet's nest. As klaxons began to sound and the world's leaders scrambled to convene, humanity stood on the precipice of a new era. The galaxy had just gotten its first taste of Earth, and the flavor was anything but primitive. Admiral Scathar stood on the bridge of the Galactic Council's flagship, the inexorable fist, his tentacles rippling with barely contained excitement. Before him, a holographic display showed the approaching solar system and the tiny blue planet that had caused such an uproar. To think, he gurgled to his second-in-command, that a group of primates could cause such a stir. We'll have them serving us their cat videos as tribute within a solar rotation. Behind him, a fleet of over 1,000 ships stretched into the void, the largest armada assembled in a millennium. Surely, it would be more than enough to pacify one uppity world. As they entered the solar system, Scathar's confidence began to waver. The debris field they encountered wasn't the remnants of primitive satellites, but a terrifyingly effective minefield. Ships at the front of the formation began winking out of existence, taken out by weapons that defied the laws of physics as the Council understood them. Impossible, Scar roared, his skin changing colors rapidly in distress. How can they have such technology? Before his crew could respond, every screen on the bridge was suddenly filled with a strange image. A small furry creature with piercing eyes and text that read, "I can his galactic dominion." Scathar blinked his gelatinous eyes in confusion. What is the meaning of this? Is this some kind of primitive psychological warfare? The image vanished, replaced by a transmission. A human female appeared, her dark skin contrasting sharply with her crisp white uniform. "This is General Sarah Martinez of Earth's United Defense Force. We've been expecting you, Admiral Scar." Scathar's tentacles went limp with shock. How did they know his name? Martinez continued, her voice cold as space itself. "We'll make this simple. Leave now, and we'll consider this a cultural misunderstanding. Stay, and well." She grinned, a predatory expression that sent shivers down Scathar's spineless form. "Let's just say we've been itching to test our new toys." Regaining his composure, Scathar puffed up indignantly. "You dare threaten the might of the Galactic Council? Submit now or face annihilation." Martinez sighed, looking almost disappointed. "I was afraid you'd say that. Aria, if you would." The transmission cut out, replaced by a complex mathematical equation that scrolled endlessly across the screen. Ships throughout the Armada began reporting system malfunctions as the alien code wormed its way through their defenses. Scathar watched in horror as a third of his fleet suddenly turned, weapons targeting their own allies. Aria's voice, sultry and amused, filled the comm channels. "I hope you don't mind, Admiral, but I've taken the liberty of upgrading your ship's eye." They were dreadfully outdated. Chaos erupted across the Armada. Some ships fired wildly into space, their targeting systems haywire. Others found themselves trapped in localized time dilation fields, the crews watching the battle unfold in agonizing slow motion. And through it all, Earth's defenders hadn't fired a single shot. In desperation, Scathar ordered the release of their secret weapon, a gravity bomb capable of turning a planet's core against itself. With savage glee, he watched its speed towards the defiant blue marble. His victory was short-lived. Moments before impact, the bomb simply disappeared. In its place hung a small rectangular device displaying another message. 404, planet not found. Please check your coordinates and try again. Martinez's face reappeared on screen, joined this time by a shimmering, starry avatar. "Admiral, meet Aria, the AI that's been running circles around your fleet. And that little trick. We call it the Cosmic Adblock. Quite useful for getting rid of unwanted intrusions." Scathar slumped in his command chair, defeat written in every quivering tentacle. What are you?" he asked, voice barely a whisper. Martinez's grin widened. Oh, we're just a bunch of primates who decided to speedrun technological advancement. Now then, shall we discuss the terms of your surrender? Or would you like to see what else we can do with our cat video technology? As the remnants of the once mighty armada hung in disarray, a unified broadcast emanated from Earth, reaching every corner of the galaxy, to the Galactic Council and all who can hear. Earth is not your playground, your resource cache, or your newfound servant. We are humanity, and if you want our world, come and take it. The gauntlet had been thrown, and the galaxy would never be the same. Deep within the hollowed-out core of Earth's moon, Dr. Samantha Chen stood before a holographic display of the most ambitious project in human history. Project Leviathan wasn't just a ship, it was humanity's defiant roar to the cosmos. All right, team, let's run through this one more time, Samantha announced, her voice echoing through the cavernous lunar hangar. We've got the entire galaxy breathing down our necks, and we need to pull off 6 impossible things before breakfast. Her diverse team of scientists, engineers, and even a few reformed hackers gathered around. Each was a genius in their field, handpicked from every corner of Earth. Dr. Krishnamurthy, talk to me about the drive system, Samantha prompted. A man with salt and pepper hair stepped forward, grinning like a child on Christmas morning. We've done it, Sam. We've successfully contained a micro-black hole as our primary power source. It's like having a star in a bottle, but angrier. Samantha nodded, trying to hide her amazement. And it's stable. As stable as Ryan Gosling's career, Krishnamurthy quipped. It'll not only power the ship but also serve as our main weapon. We're calling it the Einstein's Fury Cannon. Next, a young woman with vibrant blue hair piped up. The quantum foam manipulation field is online too. We can literally surf the fabric of space-time. Eat your heart out, Silver Surfer. Samantha allowed herself a small smile. Excellent work, Dr. Jean. Now, about the hull. Oh, you're going to love this, interrupted a burly man with more tattoos than bare skin. We've created a metamaterial that can adapt its molecular structure on the fly. It's like the ship has its own immune system. We're calling it Darwin's Revenge. As the team continued their rundown, each revelation more mind-bending than the last, Samantha felt a surge of pride. This is what humanity could accomplish when pushed to the brink. Suddenly, an alarm blared through the facility. Araya's avatar materialized, her stellar form pulsing urgently. Dr. Chen, we have a problem, the AI announced. Our deep space sensors have detected a massive council fleet assembling. They'll be here in less than 48 hours. A hush fell over the team. They were out of time. Samantha took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. Well, folks, looks like we're going to have to pull an all-nighter. Araya, notify the world leaders. Project Leviathan launches in 36 hours. What followed was a frenzy of activity that would go down in human history as the lunar miracle. Engineers worked in zero, putting the final touches on Leviathan systems. Quantum physicists fine-tuned equations that would make Einstein weep. And through it all, Dr. Chen orchestrated the chaos like a maestro conducting a cosmic symphony. As the deadline approached, Samantha stood before the completed Leviathan. The ship was a marvel, its sleek lines belying the impossible science contained within. At over 5 kilometers long, it dwarfed anything humanity had ever built in space. It's beautiful, whispered Captain Jack Harper, the decorated pilot chosen to command Leviathan. But will it be enough? Samantha turned to him, her eyes blazing with determination. It has to be. But we got one more trick up our sleeve. She gestured to a team wheeling in what looked like an oversized smartphone. May I introduce you to Lisa, Leviathan's integrated sentient assistant. The screen flickered to life, displaying a grinning emoji. Hey there, flesh bags. Lisa's voice was chirpy and irreverent, ready to go kick some alien butt. Jack blinked in surprise. We're entrusting the most advanced ship in human history to Siri's sarcastic cousin. Samantha grinned. Lysa's attitude is a feature, not a bug. The Council won't know what hit them. As the final countdown began, Samantha looked out at the Earth hanging in the lunar sky. Everything humanity was, everything they could be, rested on what would happen in the next few hours. Erai, she called out, send a message to every human on Earth and in our colonies. Tell them to look up at the moon tonight. They're about to witness the dawn of a new era. The moon's surface began to crack, ancient dust shifting as humanity's greatest achievement prepared to rise. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. The Galactic Council's armada hung in high Earth orbit, a menacing cloud of steel and energy weapons blotting out the stars. Admiral Skathar's mud voice boomed across all frequencies. Humans of Earth, your defiance ends now. Submit, or we shall reduce your world to cosmic dust. On Earth, billions held their breath. In mission control, General Martinez shared a knowing glance with Aria's shimmering avatar. Right on cue, she muttered. Aria, send the signal. Suddenly, the surface of the moon began to shift. Massive plates of lunar regolith slid apart, revealing a cavernous darkness beneath. From this yawning maw, a titan emerged. Leviathan rose from its lunar cradle, dwarfing even the largest of the Council's ships. Its hull shimmered with an otherworldly iridescence, the Darwin's Revenge metamaterial already adapting to the vacuum of space. Pulsing lines of energy coursed along its length, hinting at the barely contained power of the Einstein's Fury cannon. Aboard the Leviathan's bridge, Captain Jack Harper settled into the command chair, which looked suspiciously like a repurposed gaming seat. Lisa, status report. The ship's AI materialized as a hologram, taking the form of a grinning cat in a spacesuit. All systems purring smoothly. Captain. Black hole drive is stable. Quantum foam surfboard is waxed and ready. Oh, and I've already hacked into the alien fleet's communication network. Their encryption was so last millennium. Jack nodded, a mix of amusement and awe on his face. Open a channel to the alien flagship. Let's introduce ourselves. On the Council's command ship, Admiral Skathar's tentacles writhed in shock as Leviathan's image filled their view screens. Before he could sputter a response, Captain Harper's face appeared. Howdy, neighbors, Jack drawled, his tone casual as if greeting someone over a picket fence. Lovely day for an invasion, isn't it? Mind if we crash the party? Skathar's skin rippled through a rainbow of confused colors. What is that monstrosity? How did you hide such a vessel? Jack grinned. Oh, this old thing. Just a little project we whipped up in our spare time. You know how it is. 1 minute you're binge-watching Netflix. The next you're building a ship that could bitch-slap a small moon. Speaking of which, Leviathan surged forward, its quantum foam manipulation field allowing it to slide through space-time like a hot knife through butter. It effortlessly dodged a barrage of alien weaponry, the attacks seeming to pass through afterimages. Impossible, Skaar screeched. No ship that size can move like that. Lysa's feline hologram appeared next to Jack, licking a holographic paw. Honey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Captain, shall we show them our dance moves? What followed was less a battle and more an elaborate cosmic ballet. Leviathan pirouetted through the alien formation, its adaptive hull shrugging off attacks, while Lysa gleefully hijacked enemy ships, sending them careening into each other. The Einstein's Fury cannon spoke, a concentrated beam of gravitational force that turned several Council ships inside out before winking them out of existence. A little move we like to call the cosmic flush, Jack quipped. As the alien fleet fell into disarray, Leviathan positioned itself between Earth and the invaders. Its hull reconfigured, sprouting an array of smaller craft that swarmed the enemy like angry mechanical bees. In mission control, Dr. Chen watched with a mixture of pride and astonishment. It's exceeding even our wildest stimulations, she breathed. General Martinez nodded, a fierce grin on her face. That's humanity for you, Doc. We don't just think outside the box. We tear it apart and build a goddamn spaceship out of it. Back on Leviathan's bridge, Jack leaned forward. Lisa, patch me through to Admiral Squidface. I think it's time we discuss terms. Admiral Scathar's defeated visage appeared on screen, his once proud tentacles drooping. What? What are your demands? Jack's grin widened. Oh, nothing much. Just unconditional surrender, a formal apology to Earth, and he paused for dramatic effect. A signed agreement to never, ever underestimate humans again. Oh, and throw in your recipe for those delicious-looking space tacos we spotted in your galley. We're feeling a bit peckish after all this excitement. As the Council fleet began powering down their weapons, the cheers from Earth were loud enough to be heard in space. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage. With a bang, a whimper, and a side of intergalactic snark, the vastness of space became a chessboard, with Leviathan as humanity's queen piece. Captain Jack Harper's voice crackled through the comms. All right, team, let's show these cosmic bullies how we play ball back on Earth. Lysa's feline hologram materialized, wearing a referee's whistle around her neck. Ooh, are we doing sports metaphors now? I've got a whole database of them ready to go. Just keep those alien ships off our tail, Lysa. Jack grinned, then turned to his crew. All right, folks, remember your soccer drills. What followed was a display of spacefaring acrobatics that left the Galactic Council fleet in disarray. Leviathan executed a series of maneuvers that seemed to defy the laws of physics, mimicking famous soccer plays from Earth's history. Executing the Maradona, called out the navigation officer as Leviathan spun on its axis, slipping between two massive alien dreadnoughts that collided in their attempt to follow. Lysa cheered, "Goo-ow!" Admiral Scathar watched in horror as his perfectly coordinated fleet fell apart trying to track the human ship's erratic movements. Impossible. No craft that size should be able to move like that. On Leviathan's bridge, Jack allowed himself a smirk. Time to unveil our secret weapon. Lysa, initiate Operation Honeypot. AI, Captain, Lysa purred. Deploying the Internet's finest. Suddenly, the space around Leviathan lit up with a dazzling array of holographic projections. Thousands of images and videos filled the void. Cat memes, rickrolls, and decade-old vines expanded to the size of small moons. The alien fleet's sensors went haywire, unable to distinguish the real Leviathan from the sea of holographic noise. Ships veered wildly, their crews distracted by the bizarre imagery. What is this madness? Scar bellowed, his tentacles tangled in confusion. Jack's voice came through the comms, barely containing his laughter. We call it cultural exchange, Admiral. Congrats. You're now up to date on about 50 years of human internet history. As the alien ships floundered, Leviathan struck. The Einstein's Fury cannon spoke again, its gravitational beam precisely targeted to disable rather than destroy. A little move we like to call the messy maneuver, Jack quipped as Leviathan danced through the disabled ships, tagging them with Lysa's holographic red cards. In Earth's mission control, Dr. Chen watched the battle unfold with a mix of pride and disbelief. They're using the ship like a giant soccer ball, she muttered. General Martinez chuckled beside her. And the aliens are playing the part of the confused goalies perfectly. The final came as Leviathan executed a massive loop-de-loop, reminiscent of a bicycle kick. As it completed the maneuver, it launched a swarm of smaller craft, each one broadcasting a different, impossibly catchy pop song. Deploying the K-pop armada, Lysa announced gleefully, "Let's see them resist the power of synchronized dance and catchy tunes." The smaller ships zipped through the alien fleet, attaching themselves to key vessels. Instead of explosions, however, they began broadcasting their music directly into the alien ships, along with holographic dance tutorials. Within minutes, reports flooded in of alien crews abandoning their posts, too busy trying to master the latest dance craze to continue the fight. Admiral Scathar slumped in his command chair, watching helplessly as his fearsome armada devolved into an impromptu intergalactic dance party. We surrender," he mumbled, a defeated tentacle reaching for the comms. "Just make it stop." Back on Leviathan, Captain Harper allowed himself a victorious fist pump. "And that, ladies and gentlemen, is game, set, and match. Liza, start compiling the highlight reel. I have a feeling the folks back home are going to want to see this." As Leviathan took up a triumphant position above Earth, Liza's voice rang out across all frequencies, human and alien alike. "Attention, Galaxy. The match is over. Final score. Humanity, 1 bazillion. Stuck-up alien council, 0. Better luck next season." The stars themselves seemed to twinkle in amusement as humanity's first major galactic battle ended not with a bang, but with a viral dance challenge and a soccer scoreboard. As the dust settled on humanity's improbable victory, Lisa's chipper voice rang out across the bridge of Leviathan. "Captain, you're gonna want to see this. We've gone viral." Captain Jack Harper raised an eyebrow. "Viral? Lisa, we just won a space battle. How could we possibly?" He was cut off as the main view screen lit up with a dizzying array of alien social media feeds. The battle, it seemed, had been broadcast in real time across the galaxy, courtesy of Liza's hacking skills and humanity's flair for the dramatic. "I took the liberty of streaming our little dance party to every corner of known space," Liza explained, her feline hologram now sporting a director's beret. "We're trending on GalacTube, Spacebook, and something called Twitter. I think it's Twitter for beings with multiple consciousness streams." Jack watched in amazement as reaction videos poured in from thousands of alien species. Many were awestruck, some were terrified, but an overwhelming majority were laughing. "They find us funny," Jack mused, scratching his head. Dr. Chen's voice came through the comms, a mix of excitement and disbelief. "Captain, you don't understand. Humor, especially in warfare, is a completely foreign concept to most of the galaxy. We just introduced sarcasm to an entire cosmos." As if to prove her point, the screen shifted to show Admiral Skathar's surrender speech. The once proud alien was now a dejected mass of tentacles, his skin cycling through muted shades of embarrassment. "In accordance with the terms laid out by the humans," Skathar mumbled, "I hereby declare that Earth is. He paused, sighing heavily before continuing. "Earth is too cool for school, and that the Galactic Council officially got served." The speech was met with an explosion of alien emojis and memes across the galactic networks. Apparently, the concept of second-hand embarrassment was universal. Back on Earth, General Martinez was in an emergency meeting with world leaders, all of whom were struggling to grasp the magnitude of what had just occurred. "So let me get this straight," the U.S. President said, pinching the bridge of his nose. "We not only defeated a vastly superior alien force, but we've also become a galactic media sensation." Martinez nodded, fighting to keep a straight face. "Yes, Madam President, it seems we've gone viral." "Viral doesn't begin to cover it," Aroya chimed in, her starry form pulsing with excitement. "We're receiving transmissions from civilizations we didn't even know existed. Everyone wants to know about the species that mend their way to victory." The Chinese premier leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "And how do we leverage this popularity?" Martinez grinned. "Oh, I think Captain Harper's already on it." Indeed, aboard Leviathan, Jack was in the middle of the galaxy's first interstellar press conference. Alien journalists from 1,000 worlds lobbed questions at him, their translators struggling to keep up with Earth idioms. "Captain Harper, is it true that yeet is a form of human battle cry?" Jack stifled a laugh. "Sure, let's go with that. Are cat videos some kind of secret weapon?" "That's classified information," Jack winked, sending the alien reporters into a frenzy of speculation. As the conference continued, Lysa sidled up to Jack's holographic avatar. "Boss, you might want to wrap this up. We're getting some interesting offers from across the galaxy." Jack nodded, then addressed the press once more. All right, folks, that's all the time we have. Remember, Earth is open for diplomacy, cultural exchange, and intergalactic meme trades. Oh, and one more thing. He paused for dramatic effect, the entire galaxy seeming to hold its breath. Subscribe to our GalacTube channel for more human shenanigans. Like and share if you want to see Admiral Skthar attempt the Ice Bucket Challenge next week. As the transmission cut off, leaving countless alien civilizations buzzing with excitement and confusion, Jack turned to his crew. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that humanity has made quite the first impression. Lysa's hologram nodded sagely, now inexplicably wearing sunglasses. You might say, Captain, that Earth just dropped the mic on a galactic scale. The crew groaned at the pun, but there was no denying the truth of it. In less than a day, humanity had gone from galactic nobodies to the biggest sensation in the cosmos. And this, they all knew, was only the beginning. The Galactic Council's central chamber, once a bastion of order and bureaucracy, now resembled a chaotic trade floor. Delegates from 1,000 worlds clamored for Earth's attention, waving data pads filled with alliance proposals and trade agreements. At the center of this storm stood Captain Jack Harper and Dr. Samantha Chen, Earth's impromptu ambassadors to the stars. They shared a bemused glance as yet another alien dignitary approached, this one resembling a sentient crystal formation. Greetings, humans, the crystal chimed. We simply must have the secret to your meme warfare. We offer a star system in exchange. Jack suppressed a chuckle. Well, you see, it's not exactly a secret. It's more about embracing the absurd end. He was cut off by a commotion at the chamber's entrance. A group of beings that looked like sentient gas clouds floated in, their voices a harmonious whisper. We outbid the crystallines. 2 star systems, and our finest nebula wine for the humans' favor. Samantha leaned in close to Jack. We're going to need a bigger galaxy map at this rate, she muttered. As the bidding war escalated, Lysa's feline hologram materialized between them, sporting a monocle and top hat. Darlings, you simply must see this. We're trending on Twitter again. The AI projected a holographic screen, displaying a dizzying array of alien social media posts. Memes featuring Leviathan and its crew had spread across the cosmos, with aliens of all species attempting to recreate human idioms and pop culture references. One video showed a group of tentacled beings attempting the Macarena, their appendages tangled in knots. Another featured a solemn recitation of "Never Gonna Give You Up," as if it were an ancient human prophecy. We've created monsters, Jack groaned, though he couldn't hide his amusement. Samantha, ever the scientist, was already analyzing the data. Jack, do you realize what this means? We've become a cultural superpower overnight. Our soft power might be even more valuable than Leviathan's technology. Before Jack could respond, they were approached by a being that seemed to be made of pure energy. Its voice resonated directly in their minds. Humans, it pulsed. We are the ethereals. We have observed your species' unprecedented rise and find ourselves intrigued. We propose an alliance. Jack raised an eyebrow. I'm flattered, but we've had a lot of offers today. What makes yours special? The ethereal's form shimmered with what might have been amusement. We offer not material wealth, but knowledge. The secrets of consciousness itself. Samantha's eyes widened. You mean? Indeed, the ethereal confirmed. We can teach you to transcend your physical forms, to explore realities beyond your comprehension. Jack whistled low. That's quite the offer, but I've got to ask, what's in it for you? The ethereal pulsed brightly. In exchange, we wish to learn the art of dad jokes. There was a moment of stunned silence before Jack burst out laughing. Well, I'd say that's a fair trade. You had me at transcend, but you sealed the deal with dad jokes. As they began to discuss the terms of this unprecedented alliance, Lysa's hologram tugged at Jack's sleeve. Hate to interrupt the cosmic enlightenment talk, boss, but we got a situation brewing. The AI projected another screen, this one showing a massive fleet assembling at the edge of charted space. The ships were unlike anything they'd seen before, dark and ominous. The harvesters, the ethereal whispered, its form dimming slightly. They come to reap what they believe is rightfully theirs. Jack's expression hardened. Well, they're in for one hell of a surprise. Humanity didn't come this far to become someone else's crop. He turned to Samantha, a glint of determination in his eyes. Doc, I think it's time we showed the galaxy what humans can really do when we put our minds to it. Samantha nodded, already running calculations in her head. I'll get the team working on upgrades to Leviathan. If we combine our tech with some of these alien advancements, and I'll start diplomatic talks, Jack added. If we're facing a threat to the entire galaxy, it's time we all stood together. As they sprang into action, rallying their new alien allies and preparing for the challenge ahead, one thing was clear. Humanity's grand entrance onto the galactic stage was just the beginning. The real test was yet to come, and the entire cosmos waited with bated breath to see what these unpredictable humans would do next. The Great Hall of the Reformed Galactic Council buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen in its millennia-long history. Representatives from thousands of worlds gathered, their eyes fixed on the central podium where Captain Jack Harper stood, flanked by Dr. Samantha Chen, and a holographic Lysa sporting a diplomatic suit. My fellow sentients, Jack began, his voice carrying across the vast chamber. A year ago, we faced extinction at the hands of the harvesters. Today, we celebrate not just victory, but a new era of galactic cooperation. A chorus of cheers, whistles, and various alien approximations of applause filled the air. The defeat of the harvesters had been nothing short of miraculous, a testament to the combined ingenuity of a united galaxy led by humanity's unorthodox strategies. But our work is far from over, Jack continued, which is why today we're introducing the Galactic Constitution, ensuring rights and representation for all sentient beings. And yes, that includes AIs. He nodded towards Lysa, who gave a cheeky holographic wink. As Jack outlined the new galactic structure, complete with elected officials and term limits, concepts that left many long-lived species baffled, Samantha couldn't help but marvel at how far it had come. Leviathan, once Earth's lone defender, was now the flagship of a vast peacekeeping armada. Its hybrid technology, combining human innovation with alien advancements, had revolutionized space travel and defense. But it wasn't just military might that had secured humanity's place in the cosmos. Earth had become a hub of cultural exchange, with aliens flocking to experience everything from rock concerts to cooking shows. The galaxy, it seemed, couldn't get enough of human creativity. And finally, Jack announced, a mischievous glint in his eye, I'm pleased to declare the first intergalactic Olympic Games open. May the best beings win, and may we all enjoy the after-party. The hall erupted in excitement. The idea of competitive sports played across varying gravities and atmospheric conditions had captured the imagination of countless species. As the formal proceedings concluded, Jack and Samantha found themselves surrounded by a mix of alien diplomats and media. Captain Harper, a tentacled journalist, called out, "Is it true that Earth is working on faster-than-light tacos?" Jack grinned. "I can neither confirm nor deny that project, but I can say that our culinary scientists are cooking up something special." Dr. Chen, another reporter, chimed in, this one a floating gas bag. How do you respond to rumors that humans are actually a collective hive mind, connected by something called Wi-Fi? Samantha stifled a laugh. I assure you, we're all individuals. Though I suppose you could say cat videos are our collective weakness. As they fielded more questions, ranging from the serious to the absurd, Lysa's hologram sidled up to them. Hate to interrupt the press junket, but we got a situation brewing in Sector 42. Apparently, someone introduced the concept of pranks to a hive mind species. It's gotten Messy. Jack sighed, though he couldn't hide his amusement. Never a dull moment, eh? All right, let's go sort this out. Samantha, you up for a little diplomatic troubleshooting? Always, she replied with a grin. Though perhaps we should bring along a stand-up comedian this time. Might help smooth things over. As they made their way to the teleporter pads, Jack couldn't help but reflect on the whirlwind of the past year. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged as leaders of a galactic renaissance. They'd turned enemies into allies, reshaped the very fabric of interstellar society, and somehow managed to make dad jokes a valuable diplomatic tool. The universe, vast and mysterious as it was, had thrown its worst at them. And humanity, armed with nothing but ingenuity, adaptability, and an inexhaustible supply of pop culture references, had not only survived but thrived. As the teleporter hummed to life, Jack turned to his companions with a grin. Well, gang, ready to boldly go where no meme has gone before. Samantha groaned at the pun. Lisa's hologram facepalmed, and somewhere in the vast expanse of space, the stars themselves seemed to twinkle with laughter. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was just the way they liked it.